Hello, I'm Dwight Norris of FishNetwork.com, and today we're going to be reviewing the Sebile pivot frog. Now, I'm going to start off with some specifications and some provocations about all the things it says it does on the back of this package, as well as on the website. And then I'll get to the live fishing so you can see this frog in action and see if it actually does what it says. So stay tuned. So the Sebile pivot frog is made by Patrick Sebile, a very famous fisherman who is French, who has a lot of world records and country records for many different fish that some even I don't even know the name of. But he's come back and he's had a new line of American lures. He's mostly known for saltwater fishing, but I saw this frog and it looked pretty sweet. Let's take a close-up look there. It looked pretty sweet. So I decided to try this out. So let's just get all the knickknacks and get all the specifications here. It's 2.5 inches long. It weighs half an ounce, which is 14 grams. And before I speak any further, I want you to look at the back here, and before I go over it, you can take a look at that information yourself. So first off, it has the gravity hook system, which employs a pivoting hook that optimizing snag-free frog fishing. Now let's open it up so that you see this. See here, there's a weight on the bottom right here that's integrated with the hook, and it's a single hook and a big, huge hook. And usually you see the hook is actually touching the frog. Well, this one has a gap there, and this gap is what's going to capture. It's gonna be able to hold the lip of the bass right there on top and kind of like compress it. I think they say that somewhere in here. Yeah. Also, the cool thing about is most frogs have like no real weight to them. The weight is actually the weight of the frog. So if it hits like an object, it might actually roll over or like not correct itself the way a real frog does. Now the center of gravity here is obviously in a big fat belly of a frog. So when it hits an object, it's gonna roll back the way it's supposed to when a real frog actually does it. So the center of balance thing seems like not cool, or you might make it actually sink. If it has enough buoyancy and doesn't suck up too much water, which you see this little pee hole right here in the back. That's his pee hole. Just squeeze that when it gets too heavy and sinks, and go right back to what we're doing. I'm seeing a lot of fish here. I'm actually in a very large lily pad area, and that's why I'm here. I'll try this out. Also, this helps it create, good holding power, and the hook is really thick, and it's tied off here, so you can't just like let it fall off the paper. So, do we think this is gonna work? Is this better than all the other frogs I've used before, like the sexy frog like KVD, or the other ones that I'm gonna be using, like the Pad Crash Junior, or some Lunker Hunt stuff, or live target stuff? Let's see. Let's move forward to the testing phase. I've got the frog right here, and we're going to be casting out all these lily pads you see over here. I sound a little muffled because I have a hook fishing smallmouth bass net gator, and it's taking a little getting used to, but it's still better than nothing. Oh look, if you look out there, you'll see some bubbles. And that's probably either a snapping turtle or some hair. What I like to do is sometimes if you're on a boat, you're gonna come in. I want to see if it floats. As you can see here, that puppy is floating right on top of the water, even with that weight. And it's also staying flat. It's not wobbling side to side. Let's see how it goes through the weeds. It's doing small taps. And it has a nice floating. It's not getting stuck like my QVD sexy frog here. I think the weight is actually helping to cut through the lily pads. Like instead of getting stuck on them, is actually using the weight and the hook that's beneath it to push the lily pad out of the way. Really hope that you can see this. I believe that you can. Yeah, but when it does get kind of toppled, it goes right back to where it was. Even if it's upside down, the weight can't be balanced perfectly upside down, so it always, I want to say 100%, but 99.9% is going to topple right back to its belly, just like a real frog, unless the frog is dead. When the frog is dead, it's upside down usually. So, pretty good, I'd say. Let's take a look at there floating in the water. And when you get it into a lily pad, it's going to sit just like that, just like a frog, and then it falls off, then boom! You got yourself a big mouth bass. But this isn't like Lake Park, Texas or something, where every cast it feels like there's a 10-pound bass looking at my bait. Lucky if one out of 100 has a bass that wants to eat this. But when it comes, like you saw in my previous video, I'm on it. And there's one thing that comes with like baits that don't regularly catch fish, like stick baits, buzz baits, like an opportunity kind of thing. You see some action going on and you want to get in it. You know the fish are there. When you don't know the fish are there, it's like it's all about repetition. You got to keep trying this thing, cast after cast after cast after cast. You're like, man, there should be a bass on every one of these spots I'm at. But seriously, usually somewhere you don't expect it, like open water, over a weed bed, where you don't know what's going on out there. Boom, a bass hits it, and then you wonder, like, well, why was that spot different? Why couldn't it be right here? Why couldn't it be right there? Well, that's what kind of happens. So, you can only discern the hooking of a bass part if I get a bass. But right now, it's cutting through these weeds better. And it's also, I noticed that the KVD Sexy Frog, within 4 to 5 casts, I need to squeeze the frog to get the water out of it, which kind of sucks because it's a lot of work. But I'm going to pull this out now. I'm going to see if it's absorbing a lot of water. I'm squeezing it and I'm not seeing any water come out of there. That's a good sign. It's also, let's say this frog is heavy, man. Half an ounce? It feels heavy. The other ones are like quarter ounce or less. So if I'm not looking at the frog and I hit a lily pad, I feel like I got a bite. But we're looking for the big splash. I'd love to show this on camera. A big bass is lighting this thing up, or a small bass lighting it up. It doesn't really matter. Small bass will eat things that are half its size or less usually, which is crazy. It's like me eating a baby lamb whole. It's ridiculous. How do you do that? I guess I need a bigger mouth. There's a lot of bluegills hopping around here. Also, remember you're hitting the frogs? Let's pause for a second. Pause don't got that much energy. They hop for a while, then they pause. And make sure you pause when you're on a lily pad, usually. But even open water, hey, nothing's 100%. Anything could work. Just be natural. Know your forage, how it acts, how it moves, how it thinks. What time is it out? Is it out at night? Is it out in the morning? If it's scared to go out there in this time, throw a frog in there. Fish will be like, oh man, it's my lucky day. Plus this water right here is really shallow. And I'm just scaring the bluegill because The bass aren't here yet. So I'm gonna go down to a deeper section of the river and see if I can't get something happening there. Yep, another spot on the Charles River with the Sebile pivot frog. Still a little flipping. It's a little thicker here with the lily pads and slop. Oh, yes, we are on. Uh-oh, he's got me hung into some. Oh, he has the lure. I can see it in his mouth. That was a giant bass. He's right there. Spit it out, punk. He's right there. Did he spit the lure out? Did he spit? I think he spit the lure out. I think he spit the lure out. No, he still has it in his mouth. He's moving. Oh. So, we got ourselves on a big bass, and we lost the lure. Let's see if I can grab this stick here. Oh, he's gone. Well, if you want to do that and lose your lure, it's about $7 or $8. But you get that kind of experience. Sorry I wasn't able to get that fish in here for you, but I got stuck on that tree, and I should have waited to let him get out instead of manhandling it. That was a poor decision. I had a slip knot, and that precludes the show. So, here's the end of the line, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any other questions or you want to learn how to catch and lose big bass like that, go to fishingatwork.com or go to my YouTube channel, Fishing at Work, and leave a comment, questions, or get my 10 steps process of how to go fishing at work, like I am right now at lunchtime, going fishing and enjoying hooking huge bass and losing them on the regular. Thank you for watching.